Alright, so what's up, this is Jet Speed. Welcome back to Garden Warfare 2. Yeah, I got Commando Corn. You'll see next episode me playing him. Because I did actually record next episode before this one. Because I was not expecting you to get Commando Corn. But, yeah. So this is kind of like an impromptu... That was like an impromptu character legendary showcase thing. So we're gonna go back to playing H&B. There are a couple things I wanted to talk about regarding PvZ Replanted. I haven't given my 2 cents on it. I haven't given my 2 cents on it after the controversy and shit. And I really just want to talk about it because it's really pissing me off. Am I still gonna play it? Yes, I already paid the $20 to pre-order the damn thing, so I may as well, and I could get some good views out of it, so so there's that. But, you know, there's a lot of problems that I talked about before this whole bullshit happened. But the problems that were there before were essentially amplified tenfold. Along with a whole other slew of issues. Including the fact that they, like, blatantly lied to us regarding the use of AI. They said, well, you see, they said they weren't using generative AI, which is correct. However, they were using AI to upscale everything. So, the reason the game is actually in 4K is because AI upscaled everything, and not because the game is actually upscaled and fixed by hand. Which, you know, technically they didn't lie, but they didn't tell the truth either. You know what I mean? They weren't being completely truthful, but they didn't technically lie. So they lied, basically. In case you haven't seen any of the art, like the sprites and shit like that, it's ugly. It's fucking ugly. It is some of the most ugly shit I have ever seen in PvZ. Like, they made Twin Sunflower like fucking thick as shit. Like, in terms of like the pedals for some reason, and I don't know, a bunch of other shit too. Fucker. Yeah. Oh. Okay, fair enough. They know I'm here. You know, may as well. Smooth. Let's see, what else can we go off of? Speaking of art, Rich Warner. You know, I said shit about him before. About the concept art and him being like, yeah, I don't know where this came from either. Because again, he released all the concept art that the game had on his fucking Twitter. So wherever they got this fucking art is not Rich Warner. And not to mention they did it without his permission, but that's neither here nor there right now. What really pissed me off is shit that just doesn't make any sense. Disco Zombie having concept art for PvZ 1. And anybody that's knows at least a decent amount about PvZ 1 knows that Disco Zombie is called Dancing Zombie for a reason. It's called Dancing Zombie and not Disco Zombie for a very good reason. And that's because it wasn't originally Disco Zombie. It was originally, like, Michael Jackson. But they got a letter one day from the state of MJ after his death saying, yeah, you gotta get rid of this shit or you're getting sued. So they did. And Rich Warner was, I don't know, eating a peanut butter sandwich or something one afternoon. And he just kind of redesigned Dancing Zombie on the fly and turned him into Disco Zombie. There couldn't have been concept art because, again, he did that shit on the fly. So how could he have made up, like, a draft or concept art? He just came up with it and just put it in the game. Like, that's all there was to it. So how could there have been concept art of that? It doesn't make any sense. Just the camera real quick. That's better. So how could there have been concept art of that? Doesn't make any sense. So that's clearly another problem. Whether that's AI or not is yet to be seen, but I could definitely imagine it being AI, since AI does a lot of shit that just doesn't make sense. You know? Next, Laura Shigihara. Okay, so you know how in the console and PC versions of PvZ 1, speaking of which, I do have some gameplay of the console version, the original good console version of PvZ 1 on just the single levels. Check that out. Sorry for the plug. But anyway, so the music is dynamic, which means it starts out, you know, normal, but then as the level progresses, there's more percussion added. It turns into what we call a horde, the horde version, right? We call it the horde version because that's the version that plays during huge waves. And a little while after the huge wave actually happens, we call them horde variants because it has more percussion, more everything to make it feel more intense. And in Moongrain's case, the night theme, it even has its own like melody. It has sorry, couldn't help myself. It's just that good. Yeah. So we picked up on this, and Laura herself picked up on it. That's not a thing in Replanted. It just goes straight to the horde music, which is really funny, but also really weird, because the mobile version of PvZ 1 only has the normal version and not the horde version. And we thought, it just doesn't make any sense. So why? And why are you using Looty Booty Barrel Blast? But no, seriously though, like, why only the horde version? Like, you could easily... I don't see why they couldn't have just made it dynamic like it was meant to be. Something that Laura and the rest of us are reasonably upset about. And confused, more than anything. I'm just confused. Like, what the hell are they doing? These details may seem small, but they said they want to keep the feel of the game as close as possible to the original. But you can't, god damn it. Sorry, you can't reasonably keep the feel that close to the original when you're doing all this shit and taking out shit and putting in random shit that you don't need to. You know what I mean? It's like... What can I use here? We want our McDonald's nuggets to taste like McDonald's nuggets. The meat is the same, but the breading is completely different, and the seasoning on top. Alright? We still have, you know, the cardboard tasting meat. I got the most kills, by the way. We still have the meat that tastes like cardboard and the fucking chicken nuggets. I'm dead serious. It tastes like shit, in my opinion. I don't like McDonald's nuggets, fight me. And, you know, they replaced the breading with something that's more akin to the nuggets from, I don't know, Wendy's. Where they have, like, a bunch of seasoning on it. You know? Like, yeah, it's still a McDonald's nugget, but it doesn't taste exactly the same. It's not exactly the same. Even though you say it is, it's not. Sorry, that was a bad analogy I just made up on the fly. But, do you get what I'm trying to say here? It's like, you change all these small details that you really don't need to. Another thing I want to talk about was the permadeath mode and the sunny day mode. Those actually look decent. The RIP mode is, you know, just your standard permadeath with new music. What? How? And why? Why would you make new music for that when you can't even implement the original fucking music correctly? And better yet, who's making this music? Who's making the music for this new game mode? Who's doing it? I'm gonna get burrowed. Oh, they killed him? Okay. Who's doing it? Because it ain't Laura. Because I said this in my original rant about Replanted. Anybody who worked on the original game that, you know, said, hey, you want me to work on the original game with you, or you want me to work on Replanted with you, ring me up. That's basically what they said to popcap. Guess what popcap did? Correct. Nothing. And they were just left unanswered. Like, they weren't even left on red, alright? They were fucking ghosted, basically. Which is crazy because they give more of a shit about... They give as much of a shit about the franchise as the fans themselves. Like, they care about the PvZ franchise as much as we do. And we love them for that, you know? We really do. And we can't... I personally can't appreciate it enough. I really do love when the people that originally worked on the game are as passionate about the franchise and the original game as fans are today, you know? That always puts a smile on my face. Like, you've seen her, Super Shiggy shorts? That's a tongue twister. Like, those were so cute, and I really did love those. But anyway, you know, it could have been big, you know? We could have had them work on it. The game could have been, you know, and the original background artist too. I forgot what his name was, but you know, him too. Left unanswered. And they had an opportunity, you know? They just didn't take it. And that really pisses me off. The Cloudy Day mode. I like it. Shit! Okay. I like it. However, there's just a few levels built around it, and that's it. No, it's not like a modifier or anything. Like, it's just a straight up a few, like, levels made for it, and that's really it. And those levels really aren't anything special, apart from then it's a game mode, isn't it? Jesus. So what it does is, about midway through, clouds will roll in, your sunflowers will fall asleep, but your plants will also get double recharge and half the sun cost, which is interesting. It really makes you want to farm sun early game, and then wait until the clouds roll in, and then go crazy on the offense. Which I like. I think that's a good idea. However, there's only a few levels built around it, as I said. And that's really my only issue with Cloudy Day. Honestly, that's my only issue with it. Overall, that's actually pretty decent. The Limbo page levels. Right. The Limbo page. That's... Wow, okay. See, that's another thing. There are a few levels from the Limbo page. But, I mean, I like that they added them, but their Limbo page... They were on the Limbo page for a reason, you know? It's like... These were scrapped for a reason, and you didn't really try and make them any better. It's just, you took them, and you put them in the game. Good job! You didn't improve them, though. Which, I don't know, I feel like... With some of these, you easily could have done that. Oh, Jesus. God damn it. I'm not good at burrow canceling. I think it has a problem with I think it's a problem with the desync hitbox. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh Lord. Okay. I'm not finished, so we'll play another game. What was I saying again? Constantly forget what I'm saying. That's a problem. Oh, I forgot, and I got the most kills. you know, I'll probably just remember later. So let's come back to that. Sorry, I'm recording this on October 20th, and it is 7 at night. About. And I just recorded a half-hour long commando porn video before this, so I'm a little tired. What else did I want to talk about? I already talked about the AI, I talked about Rich Warner, Lord Shigihara, the background artist, what's his face? I'm sorry. What else did I want to talk about? The fact that they could have done more, while also keeping... Oh, right, the co-op. Still not online. Still not online. Am I surprised? No. Am I disappointed? Absolutely. They easily could have done it, but they didn't. So, now we have literally nothing then. Thanks. I'll remember. But, I don't know, it feels like a lot of people have said the same thing. The money that went into Replanted just went to the trailers, and nothing else. Because the trailers, they looked good, they were well animated, but it's just like, god damn it. They didn't go to anything else. They didn't go to the actual fucking game. And it's obvious, because why else would they be using AI instead of having actual fucking artists to make it better? That's kind of a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? It's almost like we were gonna find out about them using AI and the fact that they lied. They just lied about it. I'm on your six. Yep, this is Time Park, guys. I must be retarded. Welcome to Time Park, everybody. Really? He's using Burrow as a getaway option. You don't see many people do that. I'm impressed. Nope. Is that creature on the roof? No, he's right there. Rattle him, boys. Yeah, you can't just throw him at an angle like that and expect it to hit me. Jesus. And I got mid-aired. Oh, I got fucking mid-aired! Anyway. I don't think there's anything else I really needed to talk about here. Oh, the version of PvZ 1 the game was based on. The Windows Phone version, of all things. The fucking Windows Phone version. Now, I looked at, Burrow again! Fucking stop! Yeah, nice suicide chomp, asshole! It's built off the Windows Phone version of all things, which, I don't know, the reason is because it's closer to Unity. And it wasn't made with, from what I know, it wasn't completely made with Sexy App Framework, which, for those who don't know, is popcap's in-house game engine. And I got eaten again. I'm gonna fucking kill somebody. It was made with Sexy App Framework, which was popcap's in-house game engine, like the original PvZ 1. I believe PvZ 2 as well. Basically any popcat game before 2013, which is when EA bought them. So any popcat game made before 2013 was made with Sexy App Framework. Anything after that, I believe, was made with Unity, which is the reason why they used the Windows Phone version, because it was closer to Unity. But, I don't know, I feel like... I mean, the console versions were also made with Sexy App Framework. Which, funny, because the console version, honestly, in my opinion, is the better version. It's the best version of the game. As as much as people say the Game of the Year version is the best version, I think the best version is the console version. Especially because it's the only good version that comes with widescreen, you know? The other versions of PvZ 1 either don't have widescreen or are dog shit. Like, the mobile version, what? I did not say that. You're having auditory hallucinations. You were simply hallucinating and hearing things. Don't go for the res, you bitch! Yeah, that's me running. Oh my god, fuck off. I don't know. I think that was everything. Oh yeah, TwitchCon, right? TwitchCon, I made a short about it. It went halfway decent. Like, I don't know if you saw the Twitch chat. Anyone who was watching the live stream, the moderators, they were put in fucking overtime. I was pulling my shorts. These are shorts. Sweatpants. The moderators were put into fucking overtime, and it was nuts. Like, I was in there for about 3 minutes, the chat. I wasn't saying anything, but they were going crazy. Like, taking down messages and stuff. It was mostly the people that were calling them out using AI, which, honestly, that makes things even more suspicious, doesn't it? Because if they weren't using AI, then why would they be taking down comments that are calling them out for using AI? So, that's another thing. And one more thing I wanted to mention from that TwitchCon panel was the fact that they talked a tiny bit about modding and fan games. They were very vague. They didn't say any names, which isn't completely surprising. But they said modding is okay. They said it's okay. Fan games are okay. So, in other words, they're cool with it. They're not like Sega levels cool with it, where they even like, you know, endorse them like Sega does. Like, what was it, a couple years ago? Sega published. That's what I'm looking for. Publish. Sega published a fan game. It was the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, and it was a visual novel fan game, and that was free, of course, because again, it's a fan game. Rather not make money off of fan projects, you know. And people really liked it. It was really good. And the fact that Sega even batted an eye to it, let alone published it, was really cool. And I think people really liked that. Put a smile on everybody's face. And the fact that it was for an April Fool's joke, too, was just funny. Like, imagine the funny day and you push out a fucking banger like that, you know? But anyway, they said modding is okay. Like, they didn't give any names. But what they did say, which I thought was really funny, they took inspiration from fan games. No shit! What's PvZ 3? PvZ 3 Evolved. With fusion merges. I totally didn't say fusions. What? What the fuck's a fusion? No, they couldn't have. Jesus Christ. Where you merge plants and make them stronger. There's a ton of merges in PvZ 3. I wonder where they got inspiration from. They couldn't have gotten inspiration from like a fan game or anything. I don't know. I heard there was one called PvZ Fusion, but I don't know how big it is. You know, totally never played it. It doesn't seem like a very big fan game with a shitload of content or anything remotely interesting, so it can't be worth playing, let alone something that popcap will take inspiration from. You know, that's impossible. Can't think of that ever. So anyway, popcap took inspiration from PvZ Fusion to make PvZ 3 this time, and it's not terrible. You know why? Because the concept was from a fan game. Surprised they didn't do anything crazy with PvZ Replanted. Besides AI. But, you know, at least they said modding is okay. So you know what that means? We can mod PvZ Replanted to make it not dog shit. You heard it here, folks. However, even if we mod it, that will not change how dog shit it will be on console. It'll just change how dog shit it will be on PC. Which means, yeah, even if we mod it, it won't really make a difference. Or at least a noticeable difference. It's like reflourished to vanilla PvZ 2, right? Sorry, my shoulder's itchy. Just because it's the biggest mod doesn't mean nobody gives a shit about vanilla. And that doesn't mean there are a shitload of people, notably iPhone users, who will never be able to play reflourished. Anybody who can play reflourished is either on an Android or using BlueStacks on a PC. iPhone users and, I don't know, fucking Chromebook users, I don't know, will never be able to play reflourished. Which means vanilla will be their go-to, and they'll just have to play it normally. I guess. Because, like, what else do you do? Oh, Jesus. I can't aim today. But, yeah. I really just wanted to... I got nothing else. I think that was everything. Yeah, that was 100% everything. It just really pisses me off how much potential Replanted had. Like, people were like, oh, it's gonna fix the franchise. It could have. You know, it could have. I firmly believe that it could have. It could have, but it won't. And the reason is because popcap is incompetent. They have been for a long time. Promises they made, things they were gonna do, never happened. At least they haven't blatantly said fuck you to us, like Nintendo would. But it doesn't mean they've said anything great to us in particular. You know, it's like saying I love you. Actually, no. It's like saying, I like you, but I don't love you. You know? Like, yeah, we chat in our DMs, but we never say anything, you know, we never say anything really mushy to each other, even though we've been dating for 6 months, you know? Shit like that. That's what that kind of feels like. Let alone, not even 6 months. Years, right? It's like a guy dating a girl, and you look at their DMs, and they've never been mushy to each other, or they've never even said, I love you, you know? That's what this feels like. Which, I know, another bad analogy, but that's what this feels like. That's what it is. Because we've given them so many fucking chances, and every single time, they've just... And it's crazy because they clearly had the money to make the game good. Look at the trailers. Look at how high quality those trailers are. Now look at the game. Look at how dog shit the game is. Because people... I mean, I've seen gameplays. Like, people have been able to play the game early because, again, they fucked up on the EA fucking... What is it? EA... What's it called? Origin? Yeah. They fucked up on EA Origin, which means people... Excuse me. People were able to play the game a week early. And it ain't great. That's how we know everything about the game now. I said in my short on TwitchCon, they really needed to make a good impression, and they didn't. In fact, they're on fucking damage control, and they're not even doing that. They're not even doing that right. Which is ridiculous. I'm clipping that, by the way. I look badass. But it's like, why did I do that? Oh, that's why. Can I at least get the kill on the... No. We've given them so many chances, and they haven't fucking delivered. And I don't know how many more they're gonna get, because I don't know how well Replanted is actually gonna sell. especially now that everything has become, I think, everything, like, non-advertising related about Replanted, like the AI and shit, I think everybody knows about that. Everybody knows about that now. So it's like... Okay, that was pretty funny. But everybody knows about it now. So what are we going to do now? The game isn't going to sell. And PvZ 3 is okay this time. It's, dare I say, decent. But how well is that going to do? PvZ 3 is inherently flawed. And even when they asked us for input, they just haven't been able to deliver. Like, look at the game's art style. The only plant, in terms of art style, that they've improved is Pea Shooter. Okay, sure. I'll take Astronaut. I needed another Scientist. And that was the best one I could have gotten. Next to Chemist. They gave us the choice to change the game's art style, to vote on it. And the comic one was so cool. We all loved it, and we all voted for it. Did we get it? No, because look at PvZ 3 now. The game is still exactly as it was in terms of art style that it has been for the past 5 years. Nothing has changed there. They're still using the fucking volcano and camp locations from the 2021 build. Which, for a beta, it's not bad, but where'd Begonia Boulevard go from Welcome to Zomburbia? Gone. I don't know where it went, because it's certainly not here. And the few specials that they did add are kind of bullshit, honestly. But that's neither here nor there. That's the second time I've said that. That's got nothing to do with that. What it is, what I'm talking about is Replanted. Sorry, I got sidetracked again. It's a disappointment. The game hasn't even come out yet. It comes out in 3 days, and it's a fucking disappointment. I don't think I've been more disappointed with a game. Which, you know, it's a remaster. Our expectations shouldn't have been that high. But honestly, they weren't even high to begin with, and it still fucking disappoints. Which is such a shame. Because they had everything they needed to make the game good. They had the budget, that they clearly blew on the trailer. They had the support from the original developers, that they just, you know, fucking left in the dark. They had the support from the fans before they were caught for using AI. Which, you know, they could have just, I don't know, hired actual fucking artists to make the game look better instead of using AI and blowing the money from the trailer, you know, that they could have used to pay the artists to make the game look better. They didn't do that. And they had our support. They did. We were like, cool. A remaster is coming out. That's cool. I hope it does well. Honestly, now, I don't think anybody feels like that. Honestly, I hope the game doesn't do good. Which is, I know, fucked up to say, but I feel like they really need to learn, like, a lesson. Because what they did for Replanted was not good. What they did, I just... It's like, you have this gourmet meal right here, and you have McDonald's. The second time I'm referencing McDonald's. Isn't that delightful? I cannot aim for shit again, and this is a turf game, so we're gonna be here for a while. It's like, would you rather have the gourmet meal, the fully realized PvZ Replanted, or have this fucking McDonald's meal that, you know, may taste the same as PvZ 1, but that doesn't mean it's fantastic. And it could have been. It could have been good. And you know what's funny? A week ago, everybody was behind this game. Almost everybody. I mean, we just kind of forgot about the controversy and shit that came beforehand, before everything, you know, crumbled. Before that, you know, there are a few things, you know, a few little bruises on the body, but now it's like, yeah, there are some fatal wounds here that even if they try and do damage control, even if they try and patch up those wounds, it won't be enough. And Replanted will die. But it didn't have to. It was out of neglect. And that's what really pisses me off. That's what's really pissed me off about PopCap and EA since 2019 and BFN. That's pissed me off for the past 6 years. And I haven't forgiven them. And I don't think you should either. And forgive me for being cynical, but that's just the way I see it. And it doesn't help that, you know, PopCap is bought by the fucking Saudis, of all things. I fucking hate them. Sorry, I'm racist too. Shouldn't have said that. It doesn't help that they were bought by Saudi Arabia, who's trying to get their grubby little paws on everything. With WWE, let's see, shitload of game developers, not even including EA. Basically, a shitload of things in the entertainment industry, right? The main one I can think of right now is WWE, which is a pretty obvious example, but it's the first one that I thought of. But anyway, that's just gonna make them more greedy, and it's gonna make them want more money than they've wanted, and they've gotten for the past, I don't know, couple fucking decades. I fucking hate it. And it's not gonna get better. It won't get better. Even if Replanted flops and they learn their lesson, and they make another PvZ game that's actually halfway decent, we won't trust them. Because we trusted them with this. We did. We were a little skeptical, but, you know, we actually trusted them at least a bit. And they just spat on our faces. They just said, fuck you, buy Replanted with the AI for $20. Don't get me wrong, they could have sold it for much more, but I think even they knew that if they sold it for anything more than $20, that game would not have sold. Because you can't sell a game like that with AI slop in it for the same price as fucking Hollow Knight Silksong. You know, you can't. Even if you're a multi-billion-dollar company. It's just the franchise isn't as big as it was. And as much as it's been coming back through a lot of people playing it, mainly VTubers for some reason, it's kind of weird. It's weird seeing VTubers play PvZ. Game's over. It's weird seeing them play it. But, yeah, even with the resurgence of PvZ 1, and with that, the franchise as a whole, not to mention the way PvZ has blown up the past couple years via fan games and mods, it won't be enough to make the franchise the size that it was a decade ago. 2015, 2016 especially, when Garden Warfare 2 came out, and then Heroes not long after. Or was it the other way around? I don't remember, but it will never be that same size. Think of Angry Birds. Angry Birds is the same way. Angry Birds was gigantic, right? 2012, 2014 was the peak. In my eyes, that was the golden age of Angry Birds. 2015, they tapered off a little just because they stopped making slingshot games. And they were updating a few of them here and there. 2016, Angry Birds movie came out. They got greedy. Slapped it in everything they could have. Except maybe Angry Birds Space. And then after that, 2019, they killed the Angry Birds games. All of them. Gone. All the good ones. Gone. Angry Birds Movie 2 came out. Angry Birds Movie 2 came out, dog shit. You know, never come back the same way since. Reloaded came out in 2021. Tiny bit. I can't whistle, by the way. Tiny bit. Reloaded is actually a good game, believe it or not. I think it's a very good game. Have I played it? No, because I don't have a fucking iPhone and an Apple Arcade. Because I'm not giving Apple like $10 a month to play fucking Angry Birds Reloaded and nothing else. I would rather pirate the game. I would if I could. Believe me. I don't have enough for, stuff in these packs. It's never going to be the same as it was. PvZ is the exact same way. Even if Replanted is somehow still seen as this... Even if it's still seen as... I don't know... What can I say? Some crazy religious bullshit where they'll worship it no matter what. Even if the game blows up, right? And the game... It won't be the same as it was. Like, the franchise as a whole. It won't revive the franchise. And especially given the way things are now, it won't. And that's just the way things are, and that's the way they will be. And I hate it. I hate it. I really do. I despise it. I loathe it. I detest it with every fiber of my being. I hate it. But that's the way it has to be, because that's the way it is. And because anyone who actually has any sort of power is doing nothing about it. In fact, they may as well be making it worse. One last thing. Matt Townsend he's basically the creative director, from what I know. I don't remember. He plays a big role in popcap right now. Do you remember Dana Raid's PvZ downfall, be all end all of PvZ downfall videos? Do you remember that? He had about a fifth of the video, and this thing was 2.5 hours long, mind you, dedicated to interviews of people who worked at or are still working at popcap, one of which was Matt Townsend. And he said he wanted to get the gang back together. Good job. You really kept that promise. So proud of you. Good job. You really did that. You really did that, didn't you? Because look at where Laura is. Look at where Rich Warner is, right? Look at where Laura and Rich are. Look at where the background artist is. Are they here? No. Should they be here? Yes. Are they? I sure as hell don't see them. In fact, I don't see them happy either. I see them. I don't see them here, and I don't see them happy. Everything that they've done has made them upset. They've made us upset. The band has not gotten back together, Matt. It hasn't. Do I blame you completely? No. Do I blame you for not trying hard enough? Or trying at all? Yes. You could have at least tried a little bit. Reach out. Reach out. They straight up said, if they asked, they would have done it. So the fact that they didn't is upsetting. And that's why I believe PvZ Replanted will fail. As for me, I might have bought the game the day it was announced. I might have pre-ordered it. That doesn't make me any better. I 100% understand that. That makes me no better than somebody who's blindless, who's blindly, sucking the game's dick clean, It doesn't make me any better than them. But at least it makes me self-aware. And at least I know that the game's not going to do that well, This is not going to save the franchise. It is not going to help it in any decent way, I don't think. It'll put it in people's minds again, but for anyone that takes a closer look at the game, or anything surrounding it, it's not going to work. It's kind of doomed, just because of everything that's happened. I don't like it. You don't like it. Nobody likes it. But that's the way it is. And that's the way it will be. And, yeah, I'm still gonna make a video on it in 3 days when it comes out on October 23rd. Because I have nothing better to do with my life besides sit on my ass and play PvZ all day. Because that's all I am, apparently. No point trying to be anything else. Any other video I've made has done very poorly. Doesn't stop me from trying. But yeah, I don't think I've ever felt this cynical making a rant video, as I have, you know, as I have today. Every other rant video I made, I've been pissed. I've been very, very angry, very upset about something. This is different. This is depressing. It's depressing. And it didn't have to be. That's the way it is, and that's the way it will be. I know I keep saying that, but it's for a reason. But anyway, yeah, I just want to talk about that. This video's been going on for about 45 minutes. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know. Tell me the games you want me to play. What else you want me to do in Garden Warfare 2. What you want me to do in Replanted when it comes out. I probably won't be doing much. If anything, I'll just be going back to making a series on the original Xbox version of the game. Because I know at least that version's good. When I get around to it, I'll make separate videos on the exclusive content of Replanted. But other than that, I won't really be doing much with it. But yeah. Hopefully I'll, see you in the next one. Adios.